Bashanyana dumelang nna ke re exe ka lena ke nna busi ba ba khulu ba ba dese ba re ke the Queen of Pitori ke ntse le para never ba parolle and I no champagne mara champagne 69 darling.
Why? Can I tell you, see, I didn't understand a word you said. I was like, yo, do that. Yeah, that's cute. Do that. Doesn't know nothing about Spitori. That's like you were just looking at you like, woo. Oh, dance it. Yeah.
Mara sa ware ke tlo le ruta nna personally wa
I'm
bona.
not gonna say about Spitori. You know
Yeah.
Pedi, so you know what I'm saying? I know Spitori nyana. You know Mutswa Pedi.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to tlhakantsha like
Ne.
yeah.
Okay, and then ha le mopedi wena o mo eng so?
Umxhosa sisi
O ya thetla.
ngiyathetha
Abwa.
ngiyathetha sisi hayi man.
So mopedi Mukhosa, how do you guys actually then link up? I mean, I know you guys went to school together, you know, and even like tertiary, you guys went to tertiary together. But that first click, no man, we're vibing. What happened?
Pilo, dog, to be honest, because he was actually my bully.
No.
And then I think Mama like grade 10. I don't know, like something just happened where we actually saw eye to eye and said, oh shit, it's actually like, it's like this.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he was that guy. After school is after school.
No,
What
no,
were you
no,
bullying?
Can I
What
tell
were
you?
you bullying?
No, let me tell you. Like, I was just that nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was that nigga.
Absolutely.
No. I was just that nigga. It's just like, you know, like, I was just being weird, man. I was being a kid at the end of the day. And then, like we were in hostel together, and then eventually we spent a lot of time together, and we got to know each other, and we realized we're on the same wavelength, and we clicked. That's it. And you know, like Pedi and Kosa people have a history of like always linking up.
Okay, if that's your reference, that's cool. But in terms of the music, how did you then decide that, okay, let's rock the music together?
So that's an interesting thing because we used to host parties in Brom called Onyx.
Yeah.
And we actually wanted to make a mockumentary of like Brom culture. So William was like, yo, let's actually start with the score. And we knew Patrick Lee, if anyone knows Patrick Lee, and we went to his studio and like we made a song. I don't know what we thought scoring was because you don't just make a song, but we made a song. And William was like, yo, actually, let's just release it and see what happens. And from there, it was like, sweet. It's crazy.
Ah, sweet. Yeah. I love that. So now, you guys said for 8 months trying to discover your sound. Right now, you just, you know, the project is here. The project is done, you know. So how would you then describe your sound thus far?
Man, it's raunchy, it's rough, it's tough, it's 808s, it's just bangers on bangers. Like I think like we've working with Benny, he helped mold the sound, like he helped mold the ideas together. So now it's like, man, it's bangers, man. It's bangers. It's a mix between like very heartfelt stuff and very playful stuff because at the end of the day, we are humans and we want to also express ourselves and what we're going through. So yeah.
Okay. So are there any features now going forward on other people's projects with after this one specifically?
Can I tell you, our career has been tough, eh? It's just been two men. What you see is what you get.
2 men, like, period.
Like this. Like this is the first time we've had so many features on a song. We generally don't do features, it'll just be us.
So what was the struggle with getting features prior?
I think people didn't believe in our product. I think they didn't really understand like what we were trying to get at. And the more like South Africa has grown towards hip hop, the more they come to learn it, people are starting to catch up and understand that we were on that like thing years ago already. So now it makes more sense than it did back then.
So from Brum it started, from Brum you returned. I love that y'all played something from Riky.
For sure.
You know, I mean, how close to home is that? What kind of relationship did you guys have with Riky?
I mean, before William goes on, like, I think everybody that knows Riky had a particular relationship with him, but we're talking creative endeavors, we're talking the idea of industry and life, right? So we never had a feature with Riky, but we're talking the interpersonal relationship. That's what we had. Sometimes we were just in studio, and sometimes we were trying things out. Sometimes we were just hanging out. Sometimes we were talking about Cotton Fest, and sometimes we were really just like living life with him. And I think a lot of people can say that as much as they've made music with him, like he was a real life person. And funny enough, so we had this skit on for a while, but I hung out with him and we went to We went to Tanzania. I don't know if you know where Tanzania is.
Yeah, come on.
We went to Tanzania and we were riding together. And in the car, I was like, yo, we really want to put the skit on. Like, can we please do this thing? It's like, yo, boys, go crazy. Like, enjoy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that was like his like thing that he's leaving us with. You know what I'm saying? And he's dropping gems in that thing. That's why it's so important to have it as part of it.
So for you, how would you describe your guys' relationship and your personal relationship with Ricky?
Uh, we were we were relatively close. Like Ricky was always a person that was a phone call away. A lot of our OGs never gave us that platform to get advice or to find out how to navigate things. And like I even had a call with Ricky like mid lockdown, and we were talking about like things that are like meaningful to us, like because I was telling him about my fashion inspiration and stuff, like things that I want to do in fashion and how to navigate that, and we just had a conversation about like real stuff that meant things to the both of us, like that touched our hearts. Um, yeah, he was always that guy. Like he was never an OG that'll back down from like speaking to you. If he had words for you, he'd sit you down. He'd take you away from the crowd, sit you down, and be like, "Yo, like I want you to know this, this, that, this, that." You know what I mean? And we didn't get that a lot from our OGs, especially like as a new wave. A lot of our OGs wanted you to prove yourself first, but Ricky always saw the potential. You know what I mean? And that's what made him such a pioneer and what kept him here for such a long time, because he always saw potential in people. No matter if it's music, graphics, photography, he was willing to spend numerous amounts of money on people to help them build their career. And I think like that speaks to the type of character that he was. You know what I mean?
Okay, so wrapping it up, guys. I love that. I mean, Ricky was called the father of the youth, and you guys had so many challenges along your journey. So, in a nutshell, I just want to understand that what are you guys now doing for your generation or even the next generation? You know, because I mean, the music is dope. We know that. We know that. We just heard the music, but now let's go forward. What are you guys doing for the next generation?
I think I spoke about it while we were playing the music, but it's like I think there are a lot of people who are working with specific people for the business in the music. We're literally working with people that we believe in. We're working with people that represent something that's important, whether they have clout or not, whether they're the biggest guys or not. We're talking Flo Jones, we're talking like Yuang, and even with Not Benjamin, working with Not Benjamin is also like a blessing because we've worked with a lot of producers and they work in a very specific way, but he's one that's very welcoming to new ideas. And it's very important to work with people that you believe in and work with people that you can actually build something new as opposed to just being like, oh, I want a hit song. That's what we're working with. We're building our people and we're carrying on the same thing that we had before. That's why we had Jay Molly on. That's why we had Letabo on. That's why we had Patrick on. We're carrying that same energy because people need to recognize those people as the pioneers of this whole SoundCloud thing.
I love that. So, last one, advice for the next generation, someone who may not work with you closely. What small piece of advice would you give to someone who's watching this right now?
Um, Find your people and move. Find your people, move, stick together, create an economy between each other. If you can find a photographer that's unknown and you can help him build his skill, like work with that guy. If you find a videographer, work with that guy. Find a producer, work with that guy. Like don't be afraid to collaborate because there's certain things that people come with that can help you grow as an artist too. So if you're watching this, collaboration is very important. Ricky did say that, like, you know what I mean? We have to move as a unit. On the skit, he did say, like, we have to move as a unit. We have to protect each other. Protect each other, whatever you guys got going on. You know what I mean? And also, don't be afraid to speak up if you're feeling a type of way. Speak. If you're going through something, you have your close circle, speak. Because, we all need to be here for each other at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what's missing because, like, we're so, like, set apart from each other. It's difficult to create relationships with people that don't want to speak to you on a personal level. You know what I mean?
When was the last time you saw so much hip hop in one room?
Hey, don't even
Ask yourself.
Don't even. Yeah,
Ask
no.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? We're
Legit
pushing the
question.
agenda. We're
No,
pushing the point.
legit question. When was the last time you saw hip hop in one room? I'm gonna leave you to answer the question, but all I'm gonna say is get the new project, Champagne 69, darling. And of course, from the gents and myself, Nakalina Genabusi, Baba Kulu, Baba Dese, Baraki the Queen of Pitori, Rona, Audi.